Welcome back. Junkies come to you live on 106.7 The Fan and the Team 980. Talking about the Commanders. They wrap up the preseason with the win. Look, it was Jacoby Brissett and Jake Fromm. It wasn't their starting quarterback. I mean, the list of guys who weren't playing was like 15 to 20 deep. But overall, we want to know if your expectations have shifted. I got to tell you, mine might have shifted a little bit. I still don't think they're a playoff team. Right now, you can vote at Junks Radio. It's 63% believe missed the playoffs. I would be in the 63% if I had to vote.
I mean, it's just going to be hard. I don't know.
Hal did look good. The offensive line, we just talked to John Keim, is definitely a question mark. We expect the defense to be good just based on what they were last year. Forbes certainly has looked good. That's their first-round draft pick, so should make the secondary better. I might give them another win. But that gets them to like 500, which is where they were last year, because I think I had them at 7-10.
I'll be honest with you. The defense concerned me a little bit. I love Forbes, but our starting D-line has barely played in this preseason, and we've been getting gashed.
They were run on.
We've been getting gashed. And so, look, I know John Allen's a beast. And Payne, too. I know
monsters.
They're going to step up.
I know they are. But in the preseason, it has been kind of ugly. It's kind of like
saw Chase for 4 plays.
Who knows about Chase?
God only knows what's going on there. I mean, Ron won't even talk about it when they asked him.
Correct. It's a great mystery.
It's weird. So I'm actually more concerned right now, just temporarily, about the defense, because I can remember in years past thinking, I think in fact 2 years ago, that this defense was going to lead this team, and the defense fell apart, and they were dreadful. Until Chase got hurt, then they actually got better. When they played with that rotation of like James Smith-Williams and Casey Tuhill, they actually played a little bit better. And then last year, they were good. They were pretty solid. So I don't know. I think offensively, we're going to be okay. I've been encouraged by what we've seen. I think, Hal will have his ups and downs, but I think by and large, he'll be okay. I think Bieniemy is going to bring excitement to the offense. I just want to see the defense make some stops. And I haven't seen it in 3 preseason
I think if the
games.
defense is what they're billed to be, and that Chase Young can come back and stay healthy and give you 9 or 10 or possibly more sacks, and the offense is capable, they could.
Why are they being weird about him?
playoffs.
Why are they being weird about Chase?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I'm not
It's
sure.
weird.
They're being weird about it.
Yeah. I would assume he's ready to
about
go.
Or maybe they just know that he's good, and they don't need. They're just trying to downplay it, and they don't even need to talk
Maybe
about
they think
it.
it's a secret weapon, and they want other teams to sleep on him.
But like you said, even if he's out or doesn't play, significant time, Smith-Williams was good last year, and he could step in.
Tuhill
too. I wouldn't have much concern over that.
I'm not. I just want to see him stop the run a little bit because they didn't do it all preseason. And so, I know those guys are beasts. I just want to see it.
I just need a higher level than Smith-Williams and Tuhill. I mean, there's a reason that you picked Chase Young to be the number 2 pick in his draft. You didn't just pick him to all of a sudden say, well, we'll just get by with Smith-Williams and Tuhill. You brought him in to be a transformational player on your defense. And to just say, well, they'll be okay without him, or we'll work around him. I mean, it's just a massive failure by the organization if that's the case.
That happens. Look what happened with Trey Lance in San Francisco.
Yeah, it can definitely happen. You can get picked very high, and you can fizzle out in the league with the quickness.
But I'm not willing to adjust my win totals based on what I'm encouraged with what we've seen, but I'm not going to change anything.
I wouldn't change it dramatically. I just might uptick it just maybe 1 because Sam Howell did look good, and don't know. Now he might not look good come regular season. I brought it up. You can look at a bunch of quarterbacks who just thrived in the preseason, put up very similar, if not better numbers than Sam Howell in the preseason, and they're all backups.
And there's a possibility that he looks really good in week 1 because he's facing a pretty bad opponent, and then the next 3 weeks it ramps up because you have to go to Denver, and then you're facing 2 teams that could be in the Super Bowl next year in Buffalo and Philadelphia.
Right.
So he can look really good in week 1, and then the whole town can be on fire, and then they could, struggle in the rest of September into early October. You can't just here's what I'm worried is going to happen, is that he's going to look good against the Cardinals. The town is going to be on fire, and then there's a potential flop over the next 3 weeks where it's a real wake up type of moment.
I don't know why everyone's maybe I just sleep on.
I say there's just potential for it. I don't say it's going to happen.
Well, I think they'll lose to Buffalo and Philly. They should. But I don't know why everyone's predicting like necessarily a disaster in Denver just because it's at Denver.
It's a road game, yeah. I think so.
I mean,
tough place to play. Sean Payton
they got
should
a
have
because
a
of
better
the
team
altitude,
there.
but I have no regard for their team.
No, they were terrible last
Well,
year.
I do have regard for Sean Payton.
But Payton,
I mean,
I
that
would
guy's a
I would
winner.
expect them to be better than they
Who's
were
their
last year.
defensive coordinator?
Hold on. They lost Fangio. Trying to think. Can't think of their DC off the top of my head.
Their defensive coordinator is Vance Joseph.
Okay. Guy's got former head coaching experience.
They should be in good hands there.
Their special teamer is Kotwicka. Wasn't Kotwicka here?
Yes.
That's their special teams coach.
Definitely was here.
Yeah.
And Joe Lombardi's their OC. I don't know. Like I said, they were terrible last year, and they got a bunch of injuries at receiver. But going on the road for Sam Howell to go on the road in week 2 in Denver, that's just going to be tough no matter how good or bad they are.
Did Jason Bishop's expectations for the Commanders change at all based on the preseason?
No, I can't. I don't put any stock in preseason.
The thing that's tough about this is the schedule is more difficult.
Mm-hmm.
And last year, they win 8 games?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I think they're better than last year, but it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to translate into wins.
Right.
Yeah,
I think they are better than last year. I'll say that definitively.
Those numbers, when we had Andrew Sharp on Friday, and I saw those numbers that he put out about schedule strength.
Warren Sharp.
Warren Sharp, sorry. And 8 out of the 10 teams that had the hardest schedules missed the playoffs. And then you looked at the easiest schedules, and it was like 7 out of 11 with the easiest schedules got in, and they have one of the top 10 toughest. Just based on those numbers, I think they're not going to get in.
Looks hard. All right, let's go to Dave in Waldorf. Dave, what's up, buddy?
Junkies,
Hey, Dave.
what up, though?
Hey, man.
Where you been, Dave?
And hey, man, football season is upon us. I'm back, man.
All right.
Football season is upon
He's
us.
hibernating.
Hey, hey, I've been hibernating. Really quick, man. I just want to make some key points of what I noticed from the game this past weekend. I was at the stadium this past week. Man, the energy alone. Home games are really going to be home games this year. Like FedEx Field takeovers from other away teams, that's dead. We're not going for that this year. If you were in the stadium this past week, you might have thought you were at Nats Park. They did the wave, and I've never seen the wave done in FedEx Field 6, 7 times completely around the stadium. I mean, they did the wave 7, 8 times around the stadium. And I mean, people just kept going for it. So the energy alone was amazing. People doubting this team, you're crazy. Look at the schedule. I mean, week 1, we got the Cardinals. The Cardinals is not a heavy traveling team, so we should be able to come in week 1 and take care of business. But then when you look at the rest of the schedule, why are you guys panicking? We have the Bears, the Falcons, the Seahawks, the Patriots, the Rams. Like, come on. Even when we play the Buffalo Bills in Philadelphia and the Cowboys, y'all know we're going to split at least one with the Eagles, one with the Cowboys, one with the Giants. This is not the same team. The Bills, we are the Commanders. The Redskins, we mess around and go beat the Bills. That's the dumb stuff we do. So don't doubt this team. We finally have a quarterback. Sam Howell looked good. Like, Sam Howell looks good. I feel like we have a quarterback. We got some weapons around him. I think the over-under was like 6.5, 7.5. Man, I'm taking the over. I'm taking it. I'm taking the over. The Commanders should be able to prevail this year. Hey, if you haven't got out to the stadium, get a chance to get out there. The energy is different this year. It feels amazing. Junkies, I'll be talking to you guys throughout the course of the season. Thank you for taking my call. Hail to the Commanders.
All right,
I definitely
thank you,
think
Dave.
there could be some home field advantage, especially if they get off to a good start.
I mean,
Now, if they get off to a bad
he
start.
just downgraded the Seahawks, who went to the playoffs last year. By the way, Washington has to play in Seattle, so they got to travel.
Bills. He just had.
And we're going to beat the Bills.
Yeah,
right. I think Dave is on some ganja.
Well,
this
I
morning.
agree with them. They're going over. I think they're going over to the 6.5
I could see that.
for sure. But between 6.5 and playoffs is a big jump.
But he's
so
just
I don't
throwing
know.
out teams like they're easy beats, they're easy wins.
I
and-
think his point is well taken, though, in the sense that they do mess around and beat a team every year that you think, no way. You know, they did it a few years ago with what? Was it Tampa? They did it last year with Philly.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, they do mess around and beat teams that they shouldn't. But then,
But
they lose games.
Yeah,
that
they'll
they
lose a
shouldn't.
game. They're not good enough where they're going to beat everybody they're favored over. I don't see that.
Well, they're never favored. I mean, the fact that they're favored in week 1 by a touchdown
That's a big
is
one.
crazy. I can't remember the last time. I would love a researcher to find out when the last time we've been favored by a touchdown or more.
It's been a while.
They're facing a team that's not favored in one game this year.
Well, that's typically us.
The Cardinals are not favored in one game.
Yeah. That's typically us, though. All right, let's go to Earl and Laurel. Earl, what's up, man? You're on with the Junkies.
What's going on, fellas? How we doing this fine Monday morning?
Doing
What's up,
great.
Earl?
What's up, man?
I'm looking forward to my Skins. Hopefully, no, we will make the playoffs 10-7. I like this team, like the quarterback. I am concerned about the O-line. No question about that. But I like our defense. And I like this team, with the new ownership. That I know the owner doesn't play, but, that's definitely going to be a big boost, a home field and all that. I like it. I like this team. I think we're going to be doing real good this year. I think we'll be able to handle it. I think we're going to be okay. 10-7, make the playoffs.
It is amazing
Thank you,
that
buddy.
every year when Snyder was in charge, you just kind of felt like same old Skins. You would try to fight that thought, but eventually it would be same old Skins. And there is a new enthusiasm, all because of an ownership change.
Mm-hmm.
The ownership didn't change the roster.
No, but also the quarterback is bringing some sense of optimism. There is some sense from people that, hey, we might have a guy here.
Yeah.
Nobody's sold yet, but they're like, we might have a guy, and that's exciting.
But I agree with JP, and the ownership change should not affect anything on the field.
Not this season.
But it's just changed the attitude.
But it's changed the fans'
You've seen it in the fan base.
Oh, the fans, sure.
We saw that at the Burgundy and Sold event. We didn't know what to expect at the bullpen, and the place was packed.
Right. I mean, do you buy into like a packed stadium of excited fans can affect an outcome of a game? Do you believe that?
I buy into that, but I also am not ready to just say, well, there won't be Bills fans here in the second home game, and there won't be Eagles fans and or Giants fans when those teams show up. Like there still will be some enemy fan infiltration in the stands. It's not like every single game is going to be packed with 60,000 plus Commanders fans. Now, if they start winning a bunch of games, you're going to start forcing those people out. It's going to be tougher for them to get tickets.
I'm so eager to see how they play in the Arizona game, especially in the first quarter, first half, because the stadium should be packed.
Mm-hmm.
They're playing a bad team. I don't know who's going to quarterback the Cardinals. I assume it's going to be Colt McCoy.
That's what I would guess.
I mean, they brought in Dobbs. I don't think they're going to start Clayton Tune. It's a rookie, a third stringer. So I would assume it's Colt McCoy.
They played Toon and Blau in the last game.
Yeah, they blow. So
last preseason game.
But I'm eager just to see how the offense clicks, how good the defense is, how crowded the stadium is. They should win that game fairly easily. But if they don't,
if they God forbid lose the game.
I will come in here on Monday morning and be shocked if they lose that game.
I would be pretty shocked if they lost.
And I shouldn't be, because the NFL is unpredictable. Mm-hmm. Bad teams can beat good teams. It's the NFL. But I would be very surprised.
Also, keep in mind, the Cardinals are in the tank. They are one or two of two or three teams that are actively trying to get the number one pick. They also have the Texans' number one pick. So they're going to be picking super high because they did the deal for Will Anderson. Remember, the Texans moved up. They're tanking. And if you can't beat a team that's clearly tanking in week one, then you have real issues.
All right, let's go to Mo in Largo. Hey, Mo, what's up, buddy? You on with the Junks?
Good morning, gentlemen. Thanks for taking my call.
What's up?
Yeah, it was nice to meet your pops on the phone, Melvin, right?
Yeah, I heard. Yeah. Big shout out to my guy Dave. I've known Dave for like 20 years. That's my boy, man. Good dude. So glad to hear him back on the airwaves with you guys. But as far as the team is concerned, I think you guys are downplaying this potential start. I think they're going to start off pretty hot. Honestly, the only two games that I think that we're going to lose, and yes, I'm a fan, so I'm biased, but the only two games that I see us losing are Buffalo and Philly. And then I think we come back and beat Philly the second game. But as far as the rest of the teams are concerned, I mean, with our D-line, here's the biggest difference between this year and last year, is the ability to adjust. I mean, although the preseason doesn't matter, just the play calling that I've observed over the last three games and the way that they've been able to pick apart inadequacies on the other defense is something that we didn't have last year. We have legitimate speed, and we have talent, and we have a facilitating quarterback. So if the D-line can give us the pressure we need and allow our D-backs or defensive backs to, make the most out of their opportunities on the back end, I really like our chances. But we have the ability to adjust. And the enemy's impact on game planning, I just really can't put a tangible value on that. But this team's going to start off quick, fellas. I really like us to be 4-2 through the first 6 games and potentially, I'd say, 6-3 through 9.
That'd be awesome.
Are you saying that based on looking at the schedule, or are you just pulling that out of your butt?
No. I'm looking at the schedule right now. I've got it paused on my TV, and I'm looking at the first 9 games, and I'm like, well, okay, I got us beating the Cardinals. I think Russell Wilson is garbage. Maybe we lose Buffalo. Maybe we lose to Philly, but then we come back and beat the Bears. We beat the Falcons. I got Waller being hurt by week 7, and then we beat the Eagles, and then beat the Patriots.
I like how you have the whole first half of the season mapped out.
How is 63% of the pollsters saying that they're not going to make the playoffs? Every fan that we're talking to thinks they're going to be 15-2.
No one said 15-2.
I mean, Mo just said the only 2 games I see him losing are Buffalo and Philly.
That was for his first 9 games, I think.
Well, I mean, let's just pump the brakes, guys.
It's
not going to be that
easy.
easy.
It's a new quarterback. It's a new system, new OC. Ron's also a notorious slow starter. His teams start off slow, especially here in Washington. I'd be worried about that.
I'm reading
Hopefully
here.
It's different this year.
I'm reading here that Josh Dobbs, who the Cardinals did trade for, which is very interesting because you're throwing a quarterback into a new system. The depth chart has changed. Dobbs, I'm just looking at the depth chart on our lads. Dobbs is 1, Tunes 2, McCoy's 3.
Really?
Now that's just who knows what our lads knows.
Yeah. I mean,
but apparently Dobbs and the new Cardinals offensive coordinator, his name's Drew Petzing.
Oh, yeah, they work together.
They work together in Cleveland. So
Okay.
Petzing knows Dobbs very well from last year. So maybe Dobbs starts in that game.
I mean, that'd be
He
kind of
might.
stunning. He just showed up on the team
He just showed
4
up, but
days
he's got a
ago.
couple weeks to get to know the system.
I mean-
Maybe he does.
I don't know that they've committed to McCoy as the starter.
They haven't.
Yeah.
Jonathan Gannon has not come out and said Colt McCoy is our QB1. He will start against Washington. I don't think he said that.
Well, if they trot out Josh Dobbs, first of all, another clear sign they're tanking. And if Jack Del Rio can't take advantage of Josh Dobbs starting in a hostile environment in week 1, then all hope is lost.
I mean, he might be better than McCoy.
If you can't beat a Josh Dobbs-led Arizona Cardinals
Well,
team,
if you can't beat any of those guys, you got to beat all of them.
I agree. But certainly a guy who's been on the roster for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Got to take advantage
When
of
are we
that.
going to go through this schedule again? You want to do it tomorrow, maybe?
I mean, we've got 2 weeks.
Got to do
we
it
got
soon.
Gotta figure it out.
Do it tomorrow and then do it next week?
It's
do it
going to
once a
change
week?
next week.
Well, I mean, they're going to pick up some guys probably.
No, I don't think that's going to change your outlook
What if
that
they pick
much.
up a stud tackle or a stud guard?
They're not going to
Team-
pick up a
Teams
stud.
let go stud tackles.
Maybe some guys
Cut
like
down.
got a swollen salary and they're just going to, yeah.
They're going to pick up like a Nubs tight end.
I like your optimism.
I'm just saying. If they picked up a veteran offensive lineman who just, it's a salary cap casualty.
Mhm.
maybe
What do you think? Jim Lachey's out there?
I don't know.